My boyfriend uninvited me to Christmas but wants me to leave expensive gifts. If you look at my post history, I 37 female escaped a violent man a while ago and got back with an ex-40 male who was cold but at least not violent, but is lazy and passive, and there was too much family drama. He has 2 kids, 8 and 10. Now I am back in the drama. He also never told me he loved me, but that is beside the point. His kid's mom has always been awful to me, and he never stands up for me. We broke up when she screamed at me when I came with him to pick up the kids, threw me out, and he didn't say anything. It was literally my first interaction with this woman. There is no history that I know of. I don't recall ever meeting this woman female before I dated Phil, and to my knowledge I have no friends in common with her except my hairstylist, who is a nice woman. She honestly freaked me out, coming at me screaming at our first meeting. They have been divorced 7 years, so it's not like it's new. Anyway, we are back together, and initially I was invited to his Christmas dinner. I grew up in a cult and have no family since my disabled mother died. He knows this. Now baby mama is insisting that he cannot see the kids at all if I am there, so he asked that I find something else to do on Xmas. While we only recently got back together, we were together for a year before that, but again, no, I love you, and I felt more like a friend to him. Sometimes I wondered if he's gay and I was his beard. He doesn't drive, so asked me to take him to the mall to shop for gifts. I bought expensive gifts for his kids. He wants me to take him grocery shopping and leave the gifts for his kids, and leave my dog so they can play with her, but then go away until they are gone. I have a friend who kindly invited me, so we are going to hang out, and he says I am being dramatic and selfish when I tell him I am just going to get my money back for the gifts. Should I return the gifts or not? Update: thank you all for the kind comments, and really the unkind comments were helpful by showing me what kindness looks like. To answer people's questions, I have only been free of my controlling, narcissistic mother for 4 years, even though we escaped the cult 10 years ago. So I am really still learning to cope. I am in therapy, but my therapist's focus has been to help me build and keep relationships with people, so she tends to explain how to see things from the other person's perspective. Her suggestion was that I can leave, but also maybe have empathy for Phil's lack of EQ and grow a thicker skin. I might need a better therapist. I was raised to believe I am worthless and don't deserve kindness. It has taken 3 years of therapy just to have the confidence to make friends and date at all. I told Phil that I am taking the gifts back, and he has been begging me to give him another chance. I am working on the strength to walk away. Update: I was shocked at how everyone said BF is wrong. I really thought most people would be Team BM and tell me I'm awful for not cooperating with being asked to leave expensive gifts and my dog for my BF's kids on Christmas, but leave the house, as I am not allowed. Because that is what most of my friends, okay, I have 5 friends, told me. They told me relationships are work and compromise and that the BM and babies must always come first, even suggested I help cook dinner for them. Most of my friends are actually my late mom's friends, women over 60. I started therapy when I was cripplingly shy, and to defend my therapist, it only thanks to her that I stopped sitting alone in my house, totally isolated, and learning to connect with other people. While I appreciate the suggestion to be alone for a while, I have been super isolated most of my life, and dating again was actually huge progress for me that we worked on for months. I told my therapist that Phil crossed a line and I don't want to save relationships with him or my friends, I want to improve my self-esteem. Her emphasis has always been on avoiding isolation at all costs and learning to endure other people's imperfections. She agreed that this Christmas incident was really bad. I am still processing all this. I am surrounded by people who encourage me to be a doormat, and I am still shocked at what others thought. I really thought Phil and BM were right, and 48 hours is not enough time to process that maybe my whole worldview is totally messed up. I went to my friend Mary's house and realized that she's maybe my only real friend. She didn't judge, told me Phil is nuts, and we had a great time with her family. I left my dog with a neighbor since her oldest is nonverbal and can be unsafe with animals. I sent him a Venmo request for the money I spent on gas and gifts, and he paid it. Phil threw BM out at 2 p.m. and begged me to come home. I got my dog back from the neighbor, took out the cheapest gifts, and he made his kids thank me and play with the presents, which felt very awkward as he tried to beg them to engage with me while they were on their phones. We hung out with his kids though for an hour. BM came back and refused to get out of her car. Phil is now telling me he loves me, wants to marry me, etc. I don't know what to do. I have been reading non-stop on narcissistic abuse these past few days. I am seeing that Phil is just like my mom, and that this is maybe what she did, hoovering. But again, I am fighting to stop being totally isolated, which I did for years after leaving the cult. I had no friends, never dated. It's laughable the number of people who accused me of desperately needing a man. Phil is my first boyfriend, and we met when I was a 31-year-old virgin with no friends. So yes, being alone is grand, but I have been alone all my life and fought hard to stop wanting to be alone. Learning to talk to people outside of work topics, have social skills, etc. has been a huge battle. I am not autistic, but I read that way because after age 7, I was the only kid left in our cult commune, and I have no social skills and prefer to be alone to an unhealthy degree. I don't know what to do. Maybe Phil grew a spine, maybe it's hoovering. I am standing up to him though and looking at finding new friends and hanging more with Mary, who said I am always welcome at her house.